Sumimasen. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Strong Style Syndicate post show here at BC WrestlePod, where we break down all the good, the bad, and the downright ugly sometimes of New Japan Pro Wrestling. My name is Mikey. I am El Jefe of BC WrestlePod. And of course, joining me this evening is Mr. Bear Togo himself, Benny, who is, here with me. And we are here to review the New Japan Cup 2026 finals and the show that went with it. So, Benny, I'm happy to have you here for more New Japan stuff.
Nuge. Happy to be here. Let's rock and roll.
Heck yes. So we are going to be covering, well, like I said, the New Japan Cup 2026 finals, which includes the finals of the tournament as well as all the show that is also kind of leading us into the road to Sakura Genesis, which is going to be transpiring in, well, next weekend, I should say. So it is, yeah, we're here. It's crazy. So Sakura Genesis, the next big show for New Japan, is happening next weekend. And of course, we'll be here to break it all down for you. But before we get into our New Japan Cup 2026 finals, really quick for the introduction, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick is where you can find us go live pretty much every day of the week at this point. It's like we don't do enough, but we outside, as the kids say. But we also have our edited videos on the main YouTube channel. If you're looking for something a little bit more self-contained, that includes clips, previews of the weekly shows, report cards of the weekly shows, prediction stuff, pay-per-view stuff, you name it, you can follow us at BC WrestlePod on your favorite social media site. We also have some merchandise at our shop, bcwrestlepodshop.fourthwall.com. And last but certainly not least, we do have a coffee if you want to help us continue to pay for all these streaming services to bring you all this content that we cover. You may click on that link as it pops up into the Twitch and the YouTube chat ever so often. But you being here is enough, and we don't want you to feel pressure to donate. We appreciate and love you anyways. Alrighty, now that we've gotten out of the way, let's get into it, because while the internet is not been on fire, which has been nice to see of this result, I'm not gonna lie, Betty, and we're far enough in. I don't personally feel this way, so I'm just gonna let that stance have. There's been a lot of people talking a lot of shit about who ended up winning this whole tournament. I'm like, aren't you all the same people that were complaining that New Japan needs to start investing in like the young guys? And that's exactly what we got in the semifinals and the finals. And now we are complaining? I can't with people, I swear.
Yeah, the IWC. What can you do with them? What can I could greatly do without them? But um, one thing I liked about Newman winning was that everybody's eyes are always on Oleg, Uemara, uh, the young guys, like the big crop of young guys, right?
Yeah, that
Oleg
includes
and
Yuya and Shota as well. Mr. Umino over
yeah,
there.
and like the thing is, right? Like with uh with Calman winning, it bumps him up, right? So he's in the conversation with all those other ones.
Hmm. And so I'm going to give you my conspiracy theory when we get to our main event and talk about it, because I was just like, I had an idea of where we can go with this. But now that, spoiler alert, Callum Newman is your 2026 New Japan Cup winner, I have a conspiracy theory. And, my conspiracy theory of how I would book Callum now after this includes a lot of chaos. So stay tuned until the end of the show to see how that works out. But we do have a rest of the show to get through leading into our final. So let's just jump straight into it, because we kick things off with a NJPW World Television Championship Open Challenge match. So, of course, it is the current champion, the 10th NJPW World TV champion, and AEW's own Konosuke Takeshita. And he had an open challenge waiting for this television title. And then who should appear but House of Torture? And I'm like, God damn it. I was just like, can't live without them. You know, can't live with them, can't live without them. And yeah, it is a thing. So I'm just gonna give my thoughts really quickly. I love me some Konosuke Takeshita, whether he is in AEW, DDP, or in freaking New Japan. I love Takeshita. I love that he is the new Japan World TV Champion, as of course he won it off of uh, El Phantasmo ELP at the New Beginning USA, and I'm excited to see him here. Then on the other side, of course, you have House of Torture, which is being represented in this mess by Yujiro Takahashi. And look, anybody who has watched us covered New Japan in the last year or two already knows my feelings and knows where we as BC WrestlePod stand. We're not the biggest House of Torture fans, but you know what? They're still here. And honestly, when they're not doing their when they're still, even when they're doing their shenanigans, I still can appreciate and love them. And that's exactly how this went. This was a match that was full of shenanigans. It's House of Torture at its finest. And so, but it's Takeshita. So, oh, excuse me, it's been a long day. Takeshita ends up winning this match with a raging fire. And House of Torture would have a very up and down night here at the finals of the New Japan Cup. And yeah, so that should be interesting and that should be fun too. Takeshita does end up retaining the championship. This match went about 8 minutes or so it's just like, all right, this was a way to open the show. Now, while the match itself was fine and serviceable, it is what we got afterwards that I was very interested in. So after the match, Takeshita gets on the microphone and he cuts a promo in Japanese. And he basically says that he's here to be a fighting champion, essentially. And he wants to challenge, the best and the young ones as well. He wants to show that there is a lot of really great talent here in New Japan. So he literally says that he wants to fight Shota Umino for this title next. And I'm just sitting here and I'm just like, whoa. I was like, Konosuke Takeshita versus Shota Umino on paper is a match I really want to see. And I definitely would love to, be able to catch it. So I'm trying to remember. I think they announced it for the Road to Sakura Genesis show, or if it's at Sakura Genesis itself. But regardless, excuse me. Takeshita calls out Shota Umino to fight for this championship, and I am here for all of it. So that is our match that opened things up here, which we love to see. So then we get into our second match of the night, which is a 6-man tag team match. So, of course, you have the team of Bishamon, which is Yoshihashi and Hiroki Goto, teaming up with Tatsuya Matsumoto, and they are taking on the team. So, just to clarify, Matsumoto is a young lion. So, for those of you who aren't aware, the term young lion in New Japan is somebody who is training at the dojo and is starting their New Japan wrestling journey. And that is where developmental is not the correct word, but these are people who are training to, be able to make it to the big time roster one day. So it is our young lion, Tatsuya Matsumoto, and Bishamon of Yoshihashi and Hiroki Goto, taking on the team, which is also including a young lion in the form of Masatoru Yasuda, teaming up with El Desperado and Taichi Let me some Tai Chi up in here. I thought this was really good. I really enjoyed this match. Of course, I am a big fan of Bishamon. I love Yoshihashi and I love Hiroki Goto. Very interesting position to find Hiroki Goto here this year compared to where he was last year. But I do like Bishamon as a tag team. I think they are fantastic. And then teaming up with Tatsuya Matsumoto is a really great. But of course, I love me a good Tai Chi entrance. Tai Chi sings his way down the ramp. And of course, he's being accompanied by El Desperado and Masatora Yasuda. I really, really did love this match. And I thought this was a really good six man. Now, a lot of these matches leading up to our main event, you are finding ways to connect people to certain things, and you are connecting the story threads that is leading to Sakura Genesis coming up next weekend. So Bishamon does have, things happening at Bishamon does have a title defense at Sakura Genesis. And so this should be very interesting to say. But let me bring my co-host back. So we now have entering the fray, Mr. Sassy Squash himself. Welcome back, my friend.
Good evening. Sorry about that. You know how it goes. Technology.
Definitely. So I pretty much said all I was going to say about this. So, Sassy Squatch, how did you feel about Bishamon and Tatsuya Matsumoto versus Taichi, El Desperado, and Masatora Yasuda?
You know, I am a gigantic fan of Tai Chi. So pretty much anytime I get to see a Tai Chi match, I'm happy. Um, and Bishimon, like, I'm a gigantic Bishimon fan. Um, it, I can't wait to see that weird looking Street Fighter movie that Hiroki Goto dropped the belt to star in.
For reals. We have to wait until. Okay, I want to take this moment because I've said this in private, and I'm going to let my feelings be known on the internet where it will live forever. Do I think this Street Fighter movie is going to be a car crash? Absolutely. Is it a good car? If it's a car crash movie, I'm going to be there opening night with my butt in the seat. Also, absolutely. It's a fun, stupid video game movie. It's not supposed to be super serious, and as long as it gives
Right?
me the camp, I'm here for it.
That's the way I feel. Like you know, a lot of people are just like, why is this movie so bad? It's like, why do you want like Star Wars to be Shakespeare or something? Like, like what do you want? Like, it's a popcorn movie. Like, but I digress. Um, Getting back to the match, like Yoshihashi, man, he's one of those guys that like he's a great wrestler, right? But I cannot get past the silly faces he unintentionally makes.
I know. I'm like, damn it, Yoshihashi. I was just like, now I remember a couple years ago that he on occasion will come out dressed up as Sun Wukong from time to time, and I was just like, yep, that totally tracks for your personality, Yoshihashi. I was like, damn it.
uh, but this match was pretty fun. Like I really like the like sit out Falcon Arrow that
Mhm.
that Despy has, and as I said, like a Tai Chi match, I'm happy.
Taichi in my opinion, has had a really fun last year because last year too, I remember Taichi was going through a whole like his own story, going where he kept losing and he didn't have the confidence. And it took the match that he had with Zack Sabre Jr. You literally yelling at Taichi, "Come on, Taichi, get in this!" I was just like, "We love to see it." So
Yeah, exactly.
really love seeing that
Especially because
Taichi.
sorry, man. I was just gonna say, especially because Tai Chi and Zach used to be tag team partners in Suzuki
Mm-hmm.
Gun. And the G1 last year, I thought Tai Chi like sort of held the A block together. Like because there wasn't a lot going on, but Tai Chi matches were good.
Mm-hmm. 100%. So yeah, this was a lot of fun. Of course, it would be the team of Masatora Yasuda, Despi, and Taichi to win this match. El Desperado hitting the Pinchi Loco on Tatsuya Matsumoto. Really, really fun match. I'm a big fan of Despi too. I cannot wait to see what kind of carnage he causes during the collective during Mania weekend. I was just like, the Death Invitational is about to be on and popping. So this was a really fun match. Alrighty, so let's keep this going. So we get into our third match for a 20-minute time limit, and this picture alone is worth. I mean, it's worth it to me. I was just like, oh lordy. So on the one hand, you have the team of Ryusuke Taguchi, who I have become a huge fan of because of the best of the Super Juniors last year for his shenanigans. So I love me some Taguchi. You have Master Watto, and then of course one of my personal fashionista boys, Yo, who I always get a pop every time I see him on these cars because he's always yelling. It's fantastic. And they are taking on, of course, House of Torture in this match, being represented by Yoshinobu Kanemaru, Sho, and the current IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion Doki. I love me some Doki too. This was just fantastic and shenanigans all the way through. Like, we need to get full entrance before House of Torture started attacking the boys. Like, they were just like, no, we're just gonna fight. Taguchi didn't even get his little doll out of his pants like before the bell started ringing. I'm like, well, House of Torture is here. Let's see how this gonna go.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I'm a fan of House of Torture, but I like their shenanigans. Like, because it's just so goofy and so over the top. Like, and it like really breaks up the card. Like when it's like serious match, House of Torture, serious match.
That is 100%.
Like it's like, but like Taguchi, I love Taguchi, right? Like, uh, I've been a very big fan of him back when he was like teaming with Devitt, like like 2015, 2016. Uh, but anyways, like this match is really fun. Like I literally just wrote fun match. It's literally all I wrote in my notes.
Which is
In
very
case I didn't say it enough, it was a fun match.
I like so I'm not the biggest fan of House of Torture, but when I say that, there's a little asterisk next to it. I'm not the biggest fan of House of Torture when their shenanigans like are too much, if that makes any sense. Like when it gets overdone, I was just like, okay, settle down. Like when it's used sparingly, or if it's like a one-on-one situation, like again, going back to Best of the Super Juniors last year, Show had House of Torture shenanigans, but it was used sparingly, and it was really just him with the minor interference from like a random appearance from Sonata or one of the other House of Torture members. But it didn't overstay its welcome. And I
Hmm.
think, now they're kind of like, I don't want to say that they're cutting it back a little bit and they're kind of reining it in now that evil is not here no more. But at the same time, it's just like I like House of Torture shenanigans when it's used sparingly. And House of Torture shenanigans is how they won this match too, because Taguchi was ready to come in for the win. And then his poor nads, man. The poor nads did not see them coming, which would allow Ducky to hit the most devastating move in all professional wrestling. Surprise roll up for the win. So, but we will,
Uh,
but sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say like uh never mind. We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Okay, we'll get to it later. I will say though that there are some little story threads through this too, because we know that Yo is going to be challenging Doki for the for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. I'm trying to remember if it's going to be at Sakura Genesis or on the road to Sakura Genesis, but Yo and Doki are about to fight it out at some point in the next week or two. So, looking forward to that one. I was just like, make Yo champion, not even going to be mad. Alrighty, let's get into it. Fourth match of the evening. This had a 30-minute time limit. Hinare, I love you, but I can never just cut the hair off, man. Just cut the hair off. But we get so this is a tag team match set for a 30-minute time limit. We have the team of Tomoaki Honma and Shota Umino, shooter, as the kids say, or as John Moxley says it. Taking on part of the United Empire in the form of the Great Okan and Hanare. And I'm just like, again, we talked about this when we covered the New Beginning USA, but Shota has really gone on a self-discovering journey since losing at Wrestle Kingdom last year, and the amount of grace and love that the fans have now given back to him and he appreciates them in return has been a really nice change to pace. And I was kind of a little sad that he didn't make it to the finals, but like I said when I was talking about the Konosuke Takeshita match, Takeshita versus Umino is going to be kind of crazy, and I'm looking forward to that New Japan TV match. But I also wrote this. This was a fun match. I had a good time with this. I love Great Okan and Hinare. I think they are a really fun combo of the United Empire members to be in a tag team position. You have Great Okan, who's really good at being, the power base, Hinare being your brawler bruiser type. And I mean, it's Shota. Shota is great. Hon Tomoaki Honma is also fantastic. I had fun watching this one. This was another fun one where I was just like, this is just good wrestling, and I had a fun one with this one.
Yeah, I like how Hanare. He, he's a great big man, and even though like he dropped a lot of weight in his off time, and it looks great, and he's just tough as nails, and, and that comes through, Honma, uh, bless him, he's 49 years old and looks better than half the people on AW's roster. Um, and Shota is so over, man. It's so crazy. Like, uh, it, he really found something. Like him and Uehara really found something in the G1 last year, and it's really great to see.
I 100% agree. I yeah, I love Yeah, I'm gonna wait until we get to the main event because I'm gonna talk about Shota because I want to talk about what we talked about last time and my conspiracy theory. But again, this is a fun one, and United Empire do win this one. Hinare gets the win for the team by hitting the Ultima on Tomoaki Honma. So fun match. We move on
You
into
know,
our fifth. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, one thing I loved about the Takeshita's like being like, would you like to fight me? Like at ringside, And Shota's just being a smug little jerk. That was so great.
Mhm. It's fantastic. I love it. I love it so much. So I yeah. this is another fun match, and I had a great time with this one as well. But I also really enjoyed our fifth match, which is set for a 30-minute time limit. And I'm just like, damn. So, on one side, you have the remainder of you, our poor boys, like the remainder of the coalition that is left with the War Dogs and Los Ingobernables de Japón. So you have the United Coalition, I believe is what they're calling it, but you have the Bone Soldier, Taiji Ishimori, Drilla Maloney, and Shingo Takagi. I love you, Shingo. I have missed you so much on my gracing my New Japan screen. And they are taking on the United Empire in the form of Jake Lee, Francesco Akira, and Jacob Austin Young. I was just like, damn, I'm like, damn, Jacob, this beard is kind of kicking. Love it. I was like, this is crazy look out here. Um, I'm just gonna put it out there. Jacob Austin Young and Drilla's like beef off when they were just hit like forearming, strong arming each other at like towards the beginning of the match. I was just like, give me a singles match right now. I was just like, Drilla has come into such of his own, and he has gotten so much better over the last 2 years. And he's beefed up, so to speak. And his whole presentation and look, he's just a big bruiser, and I loved it.
Yeah, I actually sort of thought the same thing when Ishii and Francisco Akira were locking up in this match. I was like, wow, I need to see that match. Like, I mean, they might have already had it because I'm, there's a lot of wrestling. So, but when the trio of Shingo, Ishimori, and Drilla came out,
Mhm.
and they're just like jaw jacking with United Empire. Um, I, I just went like, holy Jesus, I'm getting the vapors. Like, but like this match was really great, man. Like I'm really coming around on Jake Lee. Like I really like this guy.
Mhm.
Like he's just a weird little dude who's just playing my you know. And but I love that part where like they're sort of like just about to start the match and Ishimori just like looks at somebody and goes, "Who are you? Like, who are you to be talking to me like that?"
I know. I was just like, y'all need to show Ishimori some respect, man. Like, come on now. So,
Oh man, yeah, it was like really solid. Like you can never. I don't think I've ever seen a bad Shingo match, and that's going all the way back to the Dragon Gate days. So.
mhm. So this was a fantastic match, but this would continue to be United Empire's night because United Empire would end up beating the United Coalition, specifically when Francesca Akita hitting the ground tarantula on Taiji. So this was a lot of fun, and yeah, this was just a lot of fun. Love to see it. Alrighty, so I don't want to say that this was my worst. Well, it was the worst match of the night, but I knew what I was getting into when I saw this one. So in our sixth match, you have the team of Toro Yano, Aaron Wolf, and of course, our man, Bolton Oleg, taking on more House of Torture, this time in the form of Dick Togo, Don Fale, and Ren Narita. And I'm just like, I know what I'm going to get into, and I was not disappointed.
Yeah. It's funny how you put Wolf and Oleg in the orbit of Yano, and all of a sudden they have personality.
Right? Okay, let's talk about that. So, don't get me wrong. I love my Boothang Bolton, but 9 out of 10 times his personality is as sharp as a cardboard box. Like, he is better than a wet blanket, but he is a cardboard box. He's very stiff. Now, I was just like, now, not everyone can have charisma. Like, I totally understand that. But damn it, Oleg, like you're getting better. Babe, you're getting better. But I was just like, it's still we're not at wet blanket yet, but we're at cardboard, and hopefully we can get to plastic box next for him. Now, I might say something controversial here, right? I know there has been a lot of people, specifically you, IWC. Yes, I moved my microphone close to my mouth for more dramatic effect. But I know there's been a lot of people in the IWC who have been going back and forth, and Aaron Wolf has been kind of divisive being a part of New Japan, especially at Wrestle Kingdom, him winning at Wrestle Kingdom over Evil. And so people are like, what is happening? Um, I have had my doubts about Aaron. I think that there is a lot of potential here, but going from, like we always see, the pipeline from actual mixed martial artist slash judo master slash insert any martial arts here to professional wrestling is hit or miss. We have seen some people make that transition very well. Immediately, I'm looking at Marina Shafir in AEW. I know we're talking about New Japan, but like going from MMA fighter to professional wrestler, I think she's had some really good success. I will also say Shayna Baszler too. Now, creative not booking her was a crime, but I think she also did very good transitioning from MMA fighter to professional wrestler very well. The verdict is still out for me personally on Aaron, but I don't think he deserves the criticism and the copious amounts of backlash and hate that he's been receiving. I mean, the man is putting in the work. He's, for God's sake, he shaved his head and he's wearing the Young Lions uh trunks. So he's taking this shit seriously. He's not coming out in his judo gi like he did before. So I just need people to give him a break. That's all I'm saying. And yes, this all equates to anybody who gets paired up with Toru Yano is going to have to match his level of crazy charisma because Toru Yano is literally just a comedian, but he's so good at being a good character as well. So it's some good stuff. I like Ray
Yeah.
Narita too. I'm a big fan. But yeah.
The thing is with Yano, right? Like he's an actual legit wrestler. So
Hmm.
like and I like his gimmick because it's just like it's old carny stuff. Like it's so great. And here's my thing. Here's my take on the Aaron Wolf stuff. Right. Um, I don't think it's fair to anybody to be learning on the job in front of you know tens of thousands of people. Right. Um, much like a lot of people in AEW and Marina Shafir. Right. As you said, Marina had to take her lumps, right? Like it wasn't great when she was in NXT with Jessamine Duke, and it wasn't great for the first few years of Ford, and but she put in the work, you know, and she got there. So it's not something you pick up right away. You're not nobody's a Kurt Angle. It's just fair, it's a unfair comparison. You know, but like let's get this out off topic. But earlier I was gonna say something about like the uh, House of Torture gimmick, right? And I think one of the people uh, this style of like overtly American heel gimmick works for is Fale. Like Fale in his prime couldn't do anything, right? So like,
No, and
him,
no shade, love you, Fale, but let's keep
oh
it a
yeah,
buck. Let's keep it a buck 50 here.
oh absolutely, and like, he'd probably say it too, you know. But like, he's good for what he does, you know, and like, but like, you know, the all the cheating makes him look better. Like, all he's doing is like stepping on people and like choke slamming him like at this point, you know. Um, well, like I actually liked this match because I knew it was sort of like a calm down match, and um, it sort of pays off the match from Fale and Oleg in the New Japan Cup.
It
Uh,
definitely does, yeah.
Fale was doing a bunch of the typical House of Torture stuff, and that's when Wolf and Yano came out to have Oleg's back. Which I like. You know, it's story progression. You know, one of my biggest issues with House of Torture is they don't get their comeuppance enough.
It's very true. I like listen, I know the crowd loves House of Torture, but we have to quote unquote balance the scales. So whereas House of Torture can get the one ups on everybody on this roster, sometimes they need their own lump sum, if you know what I'm saying. Like, but I do agree with you in the sense that this was definitely a fun calm down match after what we saw from there. Um, Now we kind of talked a little bit about it too, because I will say this now because Aaron Wolf does get the victory for his team by hitting a reverse triangle choke on Dick Togo. So I'm like, all right, Aaron, you got to win for your team. You got to win on House of Torture. I was just like, let's see where this goes. So yeah,
I'm here for whatever wherever it goes next. You know, like
I am too.
I sort of like these. I would. I'm not saying I would like a feud between these few this bunch of people, but I wouldn't be against it.
No, and I definitely think it would give, well, specifically if you have these three in some sort of iteration take on the House of Torture, I'd be like, you know what? I'll be here for it. It gets everybody more, it gets everybody more ring time, it gives everyone more on the shows. I would never say no to that. Just like I would never say no to any of these combination of 8 men, because goddamn. This was another fun one. Hey Zach, how we doing? No, but holy crap. I was just like, oh man, I'm excited for this tag team match at Sakura Genesis. This is about to be fire. But in the semi-main event, which is our seventh match, set for a 30-minute time limit, you have a whatever universe you want to call it. You want to call it an 8-man tag team. You want to have call it a 4-on-4. If we were in Mexico, this would be a relevos atómicos, which is what they call the 4-on-4 matches. But you have the team of Young Lion, Daiki Nagai, teaming up with the IWGP Tag Team Champions, the Knockout Bros, which is Oscar and Yota Ice. And then they are also teaming up with not only the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, he also happens to be the IWGP Global Champion, Yota Tsuji. Looking like where in the world is Carmen Sandiego out here all the time, and I love it. And they're taking on, well, essentially, they're taking on pretty much TMDK. So they are taking on the team of Kosei Fujita, Hartley Jackson, Ryohei Oiwa, and the young punk himself, Zack Sabre Jr. Damn. I love this match. Damn. That's all I wrote in my notes, to be honest.
You know, I really like the story of Kosei Fujita being a jerk to Suji. Like during the entrance, it was just slow clapping, like, and then like uh, Suji goes up to the corner, and Fujita is just yay, like good for you. Like, uh, Suji is the guy that like it took me a long time to like understand his his gimmick, you know. But I think it was like it's sort of funny. Like I think it was like Fantastic Mania like a couple of weeks ago that like I was like, oh, now I get it. Like because he had a mask on in one of the matches, right? And I was like, he is so much more comfortable in a mask. Like, why can't you just put him in a mask? Like,
Listen, if you could do it for
and
Despy, you could do it for Suji.
yeah, right. And also, like sometimes guys wear masks.
100%. So,
Because it's like it's just it's distracting. You know what I mean?
mhm.
But like, I also noticed that like I was like, oh my god, Suji, it's just doing Jericho. It's like you know, you know, Boston Crab aside, like it's very like '90s like WCW Jericho coded. Um, but like moving on, like uh the Zach is always great, man. Like him mixing it up with Oscar and Yudo Ice. I still don't. I'm still coming around on Yudo Ice. I think it's a rather goofy gimmick, but uh, it works for him. Whatever, you know. The crowd likes it, so what am I to say?
So, okay, so I want to briefly talk about Yuto Ice really quick, right? So, my friend Sassy Squatch, I don't know how well versed in the world of anime you are, but Yuto's character reminds me of like the trope in the animes or any Japanese media where it's literally the big Yuto Ice essentially could fit the role in the trope of like the big bully character who will get in the face of like our main protagonist and go like, "Huh? What did you say?" Like just be intimidating presence. I was like, "Yuto, that is what you are giving me right now with your presentation as this character." But I mean, I dig it. I dig it. Um Character wise, I was just like, I totally understand. But I do think that the match between the Knockout Bros and TMDK for the tag titles is going to be great. Can't wait. I was like, I'm crossing my fingers. I love the Knockout Bros, but TMDK as tag champs. Yes, please.
Yeah, I will say that the Knockout Brothers are. There was good reason why everybody had their ear to the ground a little while ago when their contracts were up
Hmm.
because they're freaking great. Like, they put on bangers, man. And uh, Roy Oyoa is somebody that like I'd really like to see get a good run with, like let's say like never open weight title or something, you know, or even the TV title. Like give me Takeshi and Oyoa. Yeah, man.
That would be such a really good match. And so Oiwa will have his time, I think, this year. So we'll see how this goes. But again, a really fun match. And it would be Kosei Fujita to pick up the win for TMDK as he hits the modified Clarky Cat on Daiki Nagai. And this was a really fun match. I really thoroughly enjoyed this one. All righty. Sorry, friend. You were going to say something? No? Okay. Alrighty. So before we get into our main event, this is the last call. So once again, if you are new here, you've been rocking with us forever, make sure to take a look at our socials and check out our merch store. So again, all that is in the chat, and you can click those links and explore as your heart, leads you. Alrighty. All right, Betty, here we go. Main event time. The final match, which of course is the New Japan Cup 2026 finals. The tournament has been going on all of March. And after some heartbreaks and upsets and cheers and jeers, we have gotten to the finals. So in the New Japan Cup 2026 finals, it is, of course, Yuya Uemura taking on essentially what there has been no official you know, confirmation, but after his after his promo and after the backstage press conference, I was like, this is the new leader of the United Empire. So it's Yuya Uemura versus Callum Newman. Damn, these two young boys threw down. These youngins threw down, and I was entertained. God, this was a fun match.
You know, I didn't really see much of Yuya's excursion. Japan wrestlers fair in TNA, but ooh,
It was
shade.
a it
Um,
was a joy in TNA with Joe Hendry, and we were very sad when he had to leave.
fair. There was something in like the G1 last year where like you could see the confidence growing in him in like week by week. It was crazy, and he's probably one of my favorite wrestlers on the roster right now. Like I was like picture perfect, and I love that finish that he's got, like the a capture suplex, like double underhook capture suplex. Oh
It
my
looks so
god!
good. I love it.
It's like it's not a move you could do on everybody, obviously, which sort of works, and which actually really does work in Japan because like you like, is he gonna get it? Nope. Okay, find another way. you know? And I really like Kalman Newman. Like he is a brash little dick. I love
Oh,
it. Like
easily. He is such a fucking punk, and I love him. I love this new direction for him, honestly.
and like him spitting on soccer mom Tana. Like, oh my god.
Ooh, the disrespect. I was just like, oh shit.
Well,
So
come on, you can't see you can see it, right?
yeah, I was just like, come on now. I was just like, Tanahashi's retired from in the ring, so now he got soccer mom haircut going on.
Sorry, I should have said corporate Tana.
I don't care what nobody says, Tana, whether you are regular or corporate, you still mean the world to me. But no,
Same.
yeah, yeah, Callum's a dick, and I love it. I love that he's kind of like being this dickish archetype, right? So yeah, but this match, holy hell, man! Like for 25 minutes, they threw down so many close
Man.
calls. Damn.
You know, uh silly me, right? Because I'm on the East Coast, right? So that means that when I woke up on Sunday, I opened up my Blue Sky, Threads, whatever it was, and there it was. Spoiler alert.
You're just like, oops. In the
Yeah,
meantime, while you were awake, my big ass was still asleep. And I didn't figure that I didn't get those results until much, much later. But I was just like, yeah, this time difference is crazy. The morning for you, you're just like, let me have some breakfast. Let me just chill, open it up. Literally yells at you, spoiler alert. Here's your 2026 New Japan Cup winner. Well, shit.
yeah. It was like, God damn it. But I'm still gonna watch it because I want to, you know.
Honestly, that is me every time because when I wake up, I was just like, I gotta stay off the internet. Let me spend my breakfast in my morning watching this New Japan show before I open up anything. So I'm just like, all right, let me just do it. I will say the one year, no, last year when Adolfo and I did our very best and we stayed up as much as we could when we watched Wrestle Kingdom last year. We're just like, I think we got past I think we made it to like 4 matches in and then we had to tap out. Like, we're just like, we're done. We can't do this no more. We got to go to sleep.
Yeah. Years ago, I used to do like a writing class in Japan, and like I had to be like, because I'm on the East Coast, it would start at like 4 a.m. because it's like 8 a.m. there, You know,
Jesus.
it's just like the same thing. You know, because like whenever I wait up for Wrestle Kingdom, it's like 4 a.m. You know, it's like nobody wants to be awake at 4 a.m. Nobody.
Nobody. I don't care what no one says, even if you're an early riser. Nobody wants to be awake at 4 a.m. when it is still dark as fudge outside. Jeez
But
Louise.
your brain's still going. Is it morning or is it night?
And the answer to that question is yes. Oh man. So yeah, 25 minutes. This match ruled. Callum Newman would end up winning this match. He is your 2026 New Japan Cup winner as he hits the make way on Yuya Uemura. And he cuts this really nasty promo at the end. He's just like calling people out, calling them bitches and what and wussy with a P because I'm not trying to get demonetized as much as we are. But he really is just like, oh, I'm the top gaijin now. I was like, there's a certain. I was like, on the roster, there's a couple of people that might take offense to that. At that very bold claim, Callum. Also, there is a certain Billy Goat over here in the All Elite Wrestling who might beg to differ, which leads me to my conspiracy theory here in a little bit. But Callum cuts the promo. Suji comes out, keeps it very brief, tells him congratulations, but now he has to face him at Sakura Genesis. So it is Callum Newman versus Yota Tsuji for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship at Sakura Genesis. And all right, here's my conspiracy theory, right? Now, in no means do I think that Suji has had a bad championship run. I've been really enjoying the matches he has, and I think he's really great. Now, I'm also a chaos gremlin, so I am here for burn it all down and see what happens. so, but I promise there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So I think if you want to create really fun and get eyes on New Japan and just be completely fucking chaos of it all, you have Callum Newman somehow win at Sakura Genesis and just have him be an absolute shite of a person going through the rest of the spring and all of summer. And I am still holding it out that you have Callum be the IWGP World Champion and you let the G1 this year. Bitch, it's Shota's time. I want to see Shota Umino win this G1 this year. I think it is time for him to win this. He's gotten so close the last 2 years, but I'm like, damn it, I want to see Umino win the G1 and him and Callum can go face at it. And then just like any other good storytelling trope, Shota is the one to take down this young ass punk who's just the gaijin that's being ultimately disrespectful as fuck. And if you want to get that heat on Callum going into the summer, there has been no confirmation. But if we are getting a forbidden door this year for AEW, you just made it right there. Callum versus Will Ospreay, and you have Callum beat Will.
Yeah, I think that's what they were leaning towards.
Mm-hmm.
What New Year's Dash, right? Osprey came out. But like you talked me into it. Like I really like the idea of Callum Newman winning at Sakura Genesis. Like because like they're putting the young lions. They're putting the young stars first right now, right? And the story going in is that if he wins, he'll be the youngest person to hold the IWGP World Heavyweight title, right?
And he's also the youngest New Japan Cup winner too in the company's history as well. So he's gotten that accomplishment checked off. So might as well go for being the youngest IWGP World Heavyweight Champion too.
Yeah. And they need he seems to be like the hot hand right now. Suji definitely seems to be cooling off a little bit heading into the G1. And um it'd be a cool little maybe this is just like a western uh style of storytelling, but like if Newman wins and then uh Suji goes into the G1 and wins, like then you get a rematch. Maybe like King of Pro Wrestling or
Mm-hmm.
um, Wrestling. But we'll get there. We're just fantasy booking here. We'll
Yeah,
get
we
there.
got to see
But
what ends up happening at Sakura Genesis.
yeah, exactly. Like it can't be booking the bit at the G1 in April, or March.
God, I know. I was like, we have such a long way to go with the G1. But speaking of tournaments, I think now is a good time to talk about it. So we got Sakura Genesis coming up next weekend. So we'll be here Monday, April 5th. I believe that Monday is. Wait, I will double check one, two. Yeah, April 5th or 6th, whatever that Monday is in the first full week of April. We'll be here to break down Sakura Genesis. But not only did they give us the card for Sakura Genesis, but they also made an announcement that's starting on March 28th, leading all the way into Sakura Genesis, Benny. We are going to be getting announcements of the participants for this year's Best of the Super Juniors tournament. And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so excited. Of everything that we covered for New Japan last year, I think the Best of the Super Juniors was probably my favorite thing that we covered on this channel because Adolfo and I each gave ourselves a block to watch. And then we each did mini reviews, and then we both came together at the finals. And my God, like it is one of the Best of the Super Juniors ended up being one of my favorites. I was excited for the G1 last year, but because of injuries and some weird questioning bookings that happened too, I was just like, G1 was okay. Um, but no, I'm excited for Best of the Super Juniors. I'm excited to see now, don't get me wrong, I'm excited to see which of our New Japan, Super Juniors are going to be a part of it, but I'm looking forward to seeing any of the other brands who they gonna send. Is AEW gonna send some people this year? Like, do we get more DDT representation? Because I fucking fell in love and I love Mao. Mao last year during the Best of the Super Juniors, became a huge fan of his. And then, like I said, Dethan had a really good showing. Nick Wayne and Kevin Knight had a good showing. Like, I'm excited to see if any of the other companies send the people, and I would love to see AEW and Ring of Honor send some folks again. If CMLL is going to send like one of their representatives over for Best of the Super Juniors, if it ends up being Titan again, I'm not going to be mad. Now, I'm going to be honest. If we're going to send people, I would love to see Soberano Jr. come on over and compete in Best of the Super Juniors. But, I'm just fantasy booking at this point. So we're going to get announcements starting on Saturday, and we're going to continue to get announcements. And then we get the full bracket, the full block at Sakura Genesis. So I'm excited. Best of the Super Juniors is here, and I'm excited.
yeah, there's like no rest, really. Because the road to Sakura Genesis starts like Saturday. like and yeah, I'm looking forward to Best of the Super Juniors as well. One thing that most people I don't think realize is that Kevin Knight has one of those dual contracts. So I'm sure he's gonna be in the Best of the Super Juniors.
I would
If
love to
not,
see him.
if not the G1, you know.
Seriously. And if they wanted to, I know that's probably not going to happen, but I'm just imagining, dreaming. Speedball is part of the Best of the Super Juniors. Would be
Yeah,
insane.
he was in it a couple years ago, and he blew the roof off the place.
So I'm looking forward to it. And honestly, I'm just looking forward to see who ends up winning the blocks because I was like, I don't know how I feel about Kosei and Yo, but god damn it, those two put on a banging match in the finals. Holy hell, that match ruled so hard. And it ended up on like my top 10 matches of the year. So it was so good. Of 2025, I should say. But yeah. Well, Benny,
Uh,
thank you. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, like, which did you have any favorite matches from the New Japan Cup this year?
Oh man, okay.
Besides this show. I mean, besides this show.
Ooh, okay, hold up. Let me why don't you talk I gotta open up my notes real quick because I wrote it down.
Okay.
So why don't you start? What were some of your favorite matches?
Okay. So my favorite matches were uh Bolton Ogleg and big beefy boy match. Like they just beat the crap out of each other. Uh, I really liked the student versus the teacher match between Roy Oiwa and Zack Saber Jr.
Mhm.
Um, there was a match between Yuya Uemura and Drilla Maloney that was incredible. I think Yuya might be one of my favorite guys wrestling right now. It's he's just so cool, man. There was a match between Jake Lee and Hiroki Goto, and Jake Lee had like Joker paint on for
Oh, I
whatever
saw
reason,
that. I was just like, ooh, okay.
and I really liked that match because like uh, it was like the juxtaposition of the two. Goto is like sort of like stoic and like has that like samurai like refrain,
Hmm.
and like Jake Lee's just all over the place. Like Hiroki Goto is making his entrance, and like Jake Lee is just like sitting there like this, with like his feet up, like in a chair, just like okay, yeah, that's fine. Like,
You're like, okay, well, I mean, so
yeah, and correction, it was earlier when I said that was a follow up from Narita and Fale and Oleg.
hmm.
Um, I believe it was Narita and Oleg that Yano and Wolf came out to, and I really like that. I really like that match. Like it wasn't much of a match. It's a Fale match, you know.
Hmm.
Um, but I like shenanigans. Like, I like seeing people getting their comeuppance. So
Oh, absolutely. Alrighty, so okay, I have mine. So obviously the finals here were really good, but just to do a quick pick of it. So one of my favorite, so I got two. So from the second round, I really did, like you mentioned, I love Ryohei Oiwa and Zack Sabre Jr. I thought that match was really, really good. Um, and then my other one that I really enjoyed, uh, actually was not the semi, the quarterfinals. Yuya versus Shingo Takagi was probably one of my favorites too. I thought that was a really solid match, and I'm like, I think for me personally, that's what really was like. I've always liked Yuya, but I was like, oh shit, he might actually win this. So I was like, you go Yuya. But that match was really good. And again, when you go up against Shingo Takagi, in my personal opinion, unless you are sandbagging on purpose, you can't have a bad Shingo can't have a bad match, and you can never have a bad match with Shingo. Like he's just so good.
yeah, he's so good, and he's like the perfect person to like have in this company right now because like he's a veteran and he could just use his star power to help
Mhm.
get people over, and I really like that about Shingo.
Yeah, so outside of outside of the finals, those are probably like my other favorite matches. And honestly, I enjoyed the whole New Japan Cup as a whole. I'm not gonna lie, I was one of those people where I was a little nervous about how this tournament was going to, end up being because, po- post Wrestle Kingdom, we just had a max exodus of people's contracts coming up, leaving. And I was just like, so Sonata, Evil, of course, you have Hiromu, who's no longer in the company too. So it's just like, God damn, I was like, how this gonna work? And honestly, I think New Japan did a really good job of using everybody who was available to be here. But what I think the through line message was, and I hope it continues for the rest of the year, New Japan really invested in the final four of being like your true young talent in the form of Oleg, Yuya, Shota, and Callum. And they really made it an effort of, building these four up, having to go through some heavy hitters to make it to the semifinals. And then, of course, seeing Yuya and Callum face each other, and Callum becoming the youngest New Japan Cup winner ever in the company's history. I was just like, I really hope we carry that all the way through the spring and the summer for New Japan, because I'm very interested to see what this youth movement in New Japan will truly lead to. And honestly, if they do it correctly, I think it will turn. I'm not saying that New Japan is like having a rough go, but it definitely will turn more eyes back onto the product and get more people invested into New Japan just strictly for their roster, and not having the combination shows with the like CMLL or AEW or DDT. But like, I really want people to put. I want more eyes on New Japan and their roster, because right now they have a whole plethora of really young talent. From the young lions to the people who've been here for a little bit. So now it's time to pull the trigger and quote unquote shit or get off the pot moment. Let's truly see if you invest in your young ones to guide this new chapter of New Japan, if that makes any sense. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I'm telling you, man, invest in the youth now, not for the future. They are the now, because this company, not saying that they're struggling, but if you want people to if you want more people to watch, do it. Invest in this young talent. That's the last thing I'll say. Benny, any additional thoughts?
Yeah, they are struggling. And they need to, as you just said, like they need to put the young guys forward, because the young guys are actually all pretty cool right now. So like Yuya and Shota in particular, like they're both really. I almost said hip, but like they're really cool, man.
Damn. I was like, we showing our age here, I swear.
I'm not that old. I'm
You are
old, but I'm
forever
not that old.
you are forever 45. No, I was kidding. No, I'm just kidding. No, Betty and I are within the same age range, so we're all good. So we're good. Uh, oh, well, actually, I don't know the exact age. Well, I'll talk to you afterwards, because now I'm curious. But that's going to be it for us here at Strong Style Syndicate. We have another New Japan show in the books, but fret not, mon amis, because we will be back in 2 weeks to cover Sakura Genesis. And honestly, between now and the end of summer, New Japan's going to keep us busy, because we got Sakura Genesis, Best of the Super Juniors, Dominion, G1, and then just continuing with everything. It's gonna get crazy up in this piece. But that is for the future. What is happening currently in the now is that we have a jam-packed week still coming up here at BC WrestlePod tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Uh, Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. We have our AEW post show where we are talking about a very new chapter of Dynamite as we're setting up the next feuds. Also, we have two collisions to cover because they broke them up as part of Slam Dunk Saturday and Slam Dunk Sunday due to the ends, to the basketball tournament. And you can also tomorrow make sure to tune in so you can see me and Benny over here bitch about how Fresno needs to go sit in the corner and they don't deserve another AEW show until they get it together.
My God. And that was
It was
about
a
uh as as excited as they were the other night. Like, oh, that's interesting.
God. So we're gonna have a lot to say, but we're also gonna talk about some really good wrestling, especially how much I'm really enjoying a more vindictive Will Ospreay, who's ready to set fire to everyone. It's gonna be so much fun to watch. But then, of course, on Wednesday you got the doubleheader NXT and a CMLL. April's just gonna be jam packed because NXT this week is the semi-final show before the following week, which is the go home show for NXT's next show, which is their biggest show of the year. Stand and Deliver is coming in 2 weeks as well. So, damn, I got a lot of wrestling coming up next weekend between that and Sakura Genesis to watch. I'm like, God, why spring? Why? Um, but yeah, that is going to be Wednesday for NXT and CMLL. For the first time this month, there's nothing on Thursday, but we have a show on Friday, and that is our TNA post show, as it is the go home edition before TNA Sacrifice. So we'll be breaking down the go home show and giving our predictions for Sacrifice. Then on Saturday morning, I will be up bright eyed and bushy tailed as it's been almost 2.5 months of promotion, but we are finally here. Saturday morning, we will be here to, break down our Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling and Ring of Honor's Global Wars Canada. Got some matches made. It's gonna be on and popping. Cannot wait to talk about that. And yeah, so that is gonna be our week for this week. And then strap yourselves in, kids, because once April hits, you're gonna see us cry and fight and metaphorically die on the inside because Hell Week is almost upon us, where we cover everything WrestleMania and the independent shows happening at the same time. So you got Bloodsport, Effie's Big A Brunch, Joey Janela's Spring Break, Mania itself, as well as some other stuff. God, I'm so excited. It's going to be so much fun. But we got to get up on out of here. So thank you so much for tuning in from all of us here at BC WrestlePod to you at home. Remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay iconic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. We'll catch you tomorrow for our AEW post show. But until then, sayonara, adios, and until next time, peace.